Alex, I hear you have a true confession for us today.
I do have a confession.
Mm.
So I'm a member of the Skin Fitness Club, and last month, I'm a month behind. You sent this gold leaf facial, and I watched the video where you were like, "Woo, real gold! It's like a $25 sheet of gold." And I was like, "Ooh, I'm really nervous now. I'm gonna mess this one up."
Yeah.
And then so you said, "Don't touch it, and you're gonna press it to your face." And then I pull it out of the envelope and it's on the tissue paper. And then there's a moment where I just go, wow. And I think it was like my breath and like the
It
heat
blew
of
off.
my hand. No, it just started like rolling up. This part got a lot of gold. And then I was like using the serum, like, please spread, please spread, please spread. And all I could think about was like, if Sybil knew, she would just be like, not even disappointed. You'd be like, you're a fucking idiot. But I did. I rubbed it in the best I could, and my skin has been looking phenomenal. So thank you. But also there was a moment of just horror as it like rolled up. And I was like, no. And there's nothing I could do. Nothing. Just stick it on your
So,
face as fast as possible.
so the first time I did the club so that was my very first Skin Fitness facial.
Mm-hmm.
I did a gold one.
Wow.
And yeah, very
Real,
first time for real, I did it.
real
And I sent out
challenging.
sent out two of them because I was so afraid that people would mess it up. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody did great. So I was like, no, this time I'm just gonna send out the one. And I had so many emails from people being like, so I had trouble with my gold sheet. So
I did.
lesson learned, pay attention to the gold sheet and how people use it.
I mean, I don't know. It just happened so fast. And it just was like, no. But that enzyme, I need an enzyme in my life. I mean, all the skincare people listening are just like, duh, girl. And like,
Yeah.
even like my
Decollete.
decollete
Decollete.
be
Yeah.
popping. It's just like clear
Back
and
of the
clean and
hands.
feels
Back of
good.
the hands.
I need more acid. So, anyways, or
We
enzyme.
all
Excuse me.
need more digestive enzyme in our life. They're so good. We love them. They're good when you eat them. They're good for your
Very true.
stomach. They're good for your body. We love them.
Just like, can we do like a dip? Like maybe they like put your hair up in a ponytail and just like dip you in digestive
I
enzymes.
mean, I
That might
wish.
hurt a little bit, but it
No,
could be
it'd be so
cool.
good. It'd be great.
It'd be
I'd
so
love it.
good.
My eyeballs might hurt, but everything else
Okay,
would be
just
great.
your eyeballs out. Or no, you wear like goggles.
Wear
And
little
nose
goggles. That's
plugs.
right. You like swim goggles. Okay. Every esthetician out there is like, hmm, hmm. This is interesting,
Hmm.
intriguing. And then any of the
Hmm.
people who aren't estheticians out there are like, what the hell are they even talking about? Hi, I'm Sybil Solon. I'm an esthetician and spa owner.
And hi, I'm Alex Ellis. I'm a body nerd and wellness expert, and we are business besties.
And bosses, running your own business, it's hard.
But we're terrible employees, so we're figuring it out.
I've figured it all out. But we promise to share everything we know about what it takes to make six figures and beyond.
And be brutally honest about what works and what totally sucks.
A bunch of it totally sucks. So let's get started.
I mean, literally, every time that makes me laugh. Because it
Because
does.
it's true.
It's so true. Welcome back to Skinfessional. On today's show, we are talking about things that suck, including how to plan for your different seasons of your business. You know, those months where you look at your bank and you go, oh shit, what happened?
And foolproof ways to make money even when it's slow.
Yes. So this episode came because as we're recording it, it's April 15th. It is tax day in the United States. And I'm hearing from so many other entrepreneurs and small businesses that, it's so super slow right now.
Yeah.
And then literally in the next breath, they're complaining about how much they have to pay in taxes. And I'm like, you guys, yeah, everyone is in the same boat right now. And so I do feel like there are, and again, every business owner is like, yeah, totally been there, right? These different seasons of your business where things are good and then they're slower and then they're more busy. For example, January is a busy month for me because everyone's like, new year, new me, and like all about doing their like gym kind of stuff. But January for you, how was that?
Wah wah. It's so dead. It's just like I got no time for this. In fact, I use January to do everything but work.
Yeah. You know, actually, I just had a thought too because August, I think, is a good month for you. Yeah.
Banging month, banging month. Everybody's like, I need to be beautiful. I need to have my hair taken off, and also I'm burned, so please come help me.
Yeah. And then for me, August is like last hurrah of summer before the kids go back to school. So things are a little bit slower. And I literally just had the realization. I was like, I should like not do lives in August.
Yeah, just take off. This is what we're going to talk about. So, we're going to talk about how to best utilize your time during kind of these seasons. When you have up times, when you have down times, how to make the most of these times. So you don't sit around being like, I'm so slow and I'm freaking out and I'm so sad and I don't know what to do. Because if you track these times, if you look and you pay attention to kind of your numbers, you'll know what times you'll be like a psychic, right? You're like a magic psychic, and you'll be like, I know that these months are the times that I'm slow, and these are the times that I'm banging busy. And you can
Mhm.
prepare for these seasons in your business so that you can plan for them, make good choices, and then utilize them to better intent for yourself and your clientele.
Yeah. And we recently talked about forecasting, and this is like similar ish, but not the same at all. But I think
This is
it's
forecasting
another
for your business inside your business.
insider business, but it's still a very important conversation to have so that you aren't like surprised when August
Yeah,
comes around and you're super busy or you're not super busy, or December comes around and you're not busy or you are busy. Also, it is so, like you mentioned already, individual and like based on
right,
your business. So
right.
I definitely think surveying your people, paying attention, looking at your books, noticing what are the trends. And you
Mhm.
would like, we can't really tell this information from like 1 year of books, can we?
You really can't. So if you're a new esthetician and you're listening, hey, don't stress out. Try to like understand that it probably takes 2 to 3 years to really get a good idea of what your numbers are looking like. I know for me, it took me within after the first year, I was like, okay, don't freak out. Your April and January, they don't look so great. Okay. They're just not amazing. And I would push really hard to get those numbers up. By the third year, I was like, just go with this flow. Your numbers aren't going to be that great. And I did everything I could for 5 years to try to get them better. And then I was like, you know what? Lean into it, bitch. It's just, this is how it's going to be. And this is the way life is. But I know that I have other estheticians who their April, if you're living in like Minnesota or the Midwest or somewhere where like it's like the snow stops and the sun comes out, your April, right? Your April is like, people are like calling you on the horn and they're like, please, I need to see you. I've been hiding for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
Please,
busy. You're
please send me
really,
to your
really
house.
busy.
I think too, it really like something I want to point out about what you just said is, when we notice these trends, we notice these downturns, like whatever, there you always have the choice to try to fix it, right? Feeling
Mhm.
like there's something wrong and I need to improve it. And I do think, there is a time and place for that. And then there's also, this is just the way things ebb and flow.
Yeah.
There is nothing that I can think of that is the same all day, every day, 365 days a year. Like there are seasons in nature, there are seasons in your body, there's seasons in your business too. And the more we can like honor and just
Yeah.
go with those ebbs and flows, I think the more harmonious and fun your business is going to be.
Yes. And we all deserve time off. So, one of the things that when I looked at my business and I said, okay, these are the months that I inherently know I didn't do well in. So, let's talk about some of the ways that I handle my business and the ways that I've kind of tried to deal with my down months. Now, I'm really transparent. I've talked about a bunch. April and January are dead, like so dead. I might as well not go into work sometimes. So there are things that I originally started doing. So one of the things that I did, because I do want to have some income. I don't want to be like, hi, I took 30 days siesta and just didn't make any money at all.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did is I started, because I knew that it was going to be harder, especially for like January. I knew that people in October, November, December, they start spending money for the holiday season. And I was like, if I can get into their pockets at that time, and I can get them to preload money into my account, then I can get them in for January. So I would sell packages. I would sell, services, gift certificates, whatever to that I would be like, then they'll come spend it in January because that money is already spent. And they're like, oh yay, I can come see Sybil. That money, it's not money anymore. Now it's Monopoly money. Whatever.
Right. Right.
And that's what I was looking for. So that's how I handle January a lot of the time. I pre-package it so that your facial in January is already paid for and it's handled. April, I kind of do the same thing, but I also know that April, there's two kinds of clients that happen in April for me for tax season. The person who got a huge batch of money as a return, and they are off doing something amazing with that money. They're going on vacation, they're buying a car, whatever. They're not thinking about getting facials with me. That's not what they're thinking about.
People are
Or
like, getting money back. Wait, what?
right. I mean, and if you can tap into that, understand, if you can tap into that mentality, if you have a business where somebody's like, I want to make huge changes in my skin, I'd like to take my tax return and give it to you. That's awesome. See if you can tap into that. That was never my client. That's not what I do. I do make huge changes, but I don't do it as in like a bulk. I do it as a lifetime change with my client. So they're not going to
Right.
come in and be like, I can't wait to spend, $6,000 with you and then never see you again. You
No.
know,
It's
that's
like
that's not who my clientele is.
it's all the body like maintenance too. I came up with this analogy. I was like writing a outline. You don't change the oil in your car like 5 times and you're like, okay, it's good. It's set. It like
Right.
never needs it again. It's like this ongoing thing that we understand. And the same goes for like skincare, body maintenance,
Mhm.
all of that. And so if you're like, well, wait, my clients don't think of it that way. How can you also alter or shift your marketing and just how you're speaking about the services you're providing so that it does become this like maintenance thing that's important to keep up. So that's
Absolutely.
a whole nother conversation
Totally.
that we could
Totally.
also have, but not today. Okay. So I love that of like pre-selling packages, of like being
Mhm.
mindful of when your slow times may be. I'm thinking like for
But I
myself.
will I will say, hold on one second. I
Yeah.
will say that that is a good time though to bring in, if let's say you wanted to bring in something new, sometimes that's a good time to bring something new in because somebody does have some money maybe to drop on something new that you can do like a special on or something because suddenly they're like, "Oh, well I can try this new thing out for a discount." Because discounts go
Yeah.
over really well. Like deeper discounts go over really well when people are like afraid to spend money. And April's a good time for that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, now I'm like, oh my gosh, I can just think of so many service providers I work with, where I'm like, could you just like zhuzh up your menu and like make it more exciting for me? And as a service provider, right, we already know what we do. It honestly is just like repackaging. It's putting a red
Yes.
bow instead of a green bow. It's a lavender scent instead of this. And people are like, oh
Mhm.
my God, it's new because they don't know. That's why they're coming to us. That's literally the point.
Yes.
So now
Yes.
I'm just like, oh, 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 oh. I wish I had a menu that could be easily
Well, but
repackaged like that.
you repackage all the time. I mean, think about so Alex has this vault. So she created this
Yeah.
vault, this video vault. Alex, what is this video vault? Was it like this brand new thing that you created? Is all
Oh, no,
new?
no. It was just repackaging. And also, you know what? Okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing this out.
Yes.
I'm relaunching my membership, right? Enrollment is opening again. So there was something, I do a mobility assessment. We've talked about this before, like how it's successful for when people do that and join the membership, they have a better experience because they know more and they can do better. And
Mhm.
so packaging that. So now instead of just a monthly option or an annual option, plus you get the assessment, I'm like, great, let me throw in the monthly plus the assessment at a little bit of a discount. It's not included, right? But so then there's 3 tiers that ultimately all lead people to the same thing. I didn't have to create anything new. It was fantastic. So thank you for reminding me that I'm like, I'm
Yes.
not
I
doing
mean,
enough. You hear that? I'm not doing enough. And then you're like,
absolutely.
oh, wait, I am. I am. Don't
Absolutely.
tell me.
And we sometimes forget that we get so involved in like the things that other people are doing or how we're not doing enough that we forget that we're doing all the things and we just don't give ourselves enough credit. So pat yourself on the back for all the things you are getting done because it's pretty badass probably.
Yeah.
Right. But that
Amen to
brings
that.
up the point that one of the things that I do in those kind of slower months, those down months, is I reassess stuff. I look at my menu, I launch new stuff, I roll out the stuff that I want to try. So let's say you want to beta something, that's the month to beta. You want to roll out a new membership, you're like, I'm beta testing this because you'll probably have a less amount of clients to try it out on. And
Mhm.
if it fails, you're like, well, that was only for April. That was for a slow month. Who cares? Whatever. It's dead
Yeah.
now. It's dead to me. It
Mm.
failed. Who
Okay.
cares?
I hope even while people are listening, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, my God, I should be taking notes on this episode right now. And I hope too that those who are listening are also just like, hit pause.
If you've hit pause, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share this, leave something on Apple, iTunes if you love us, because we can use all the publicity we can get. All right, back to the episode.
take a note so that you have this idea that you're inspired to bring into your business and get excited about stuff. Because I think, we can get into the trenches with things and it
Mm,
gets lonely and it gets boring and it sucks. And that is why we're here. So
it's true. It's true. In fact, Alex and I were just discussing that earlier, that we have been sometimes maybe a little uninspired as of late. And so it's good
Mhm,
to get the inspirational juices running,
mhm,
especially
mhm,
when you're in the day-to-day muck of it all. You're just like deep in the trenches. You're deep in the mud. You can't see the sunrises and the sunsets. You're just
mhm,
like
mhm.
you just see the like,
In the
I don't know,
shit,
the dirt. Yeah, you just
you're
see
in
the
the shit.
dirt.
You're just in it. You're in it. Okay, so other practical things too, like these go together. Is if you know that you're gonna have slow months, plan to run your business, like operate it on a leaner budget that is more appropriate for those leaner months. So when you're making more money, instead
Mm,
of being like, great, let me add on all these additional expenses, let me buy that new piece of equipment, let me go take that
yeah,
course, you're good. Right? That's
yeah,
extra money that you can save up to invest in something, but you know
yes,
that your base needs are going to be covered regardless of what's happening, right? Plus the next thing. And I think too in education with teachers that this is common. Like I
yeah.
verified with you before, I didn't realize. I'm like, oh yeah, they don't get paid over the
No.
summer, and here we are. Like it's a slow month. It's like at least we have a little bit more flexibility over that. I love this is what I'm thinking about too. This idea. So you're budgeting to live within your means to operate your business on a leaner budget to be prepared for those slower months so that when you do have your slower months, maybe you do take some time off. Right?
Yeah,
Maybe this is going to be super slow. I only need to work this many days to cover it, or because of recurring things, it's going to be covered. And then you take a vacation. Maybe you just do all that admin stuff that I know you've been putting off, like
I
your
know.
books. Can you imagine if you prepped for your taxes in like, I don't know, what's another slow month for you?
Um, yeah, no. I mean, so imagine if you did all your inventory in January
Yeah.
for April. This is what I
Yeah.
do. Do all your inventory, and I hate it, but do all your inventory January 1st, just do all your inventory. Sit
Yeah.
down, just do it. So all your inventory, start prepping all of your books for April 15th. Just get it done. January is a
I do
dead month
that.
for almost everyone,
I do that over Christmas because I'm a nerd.
right? But so pick one of
So
those
gross.
months,
Yeah.
and if you want to extend to October, you could still do all your stuff in April, or whatever month is quiet
Yep.
for you. There's a huge, vast array of space depending on when you want to get your stuff done.
Yeah. So as we're sitting
Clean your
here,
office from head to toe. Give it that
yeah,
deep, deep cleaning. Give it that deep, deep cleaning, where you get under the shelves that you don't ever want to look at.
I want to go on a road trip in August because it's going to be a slow freaking month, anyways. So,
So
if
do
you
it.
want to come, let's go do it.
Yeah, let's plan it.
I
On
have my
it.
fairy lights, my generator. We glam camping, as my dad says.
Glam camping. That's the way to go about it. So yeah,
Glamping.
find that time that you can lean into that vacation, because I did start taking longer vacations through those. Like April was a month that I started just like taking a long vacation. Like started taking a 3-week vacation, and my clients were like, "Wow, you're taking a long vacation." I'm like, "You're not coming in. Why do I care?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I can fit y'all in like a week period. Like I just don't care. Let's just do this thing."
Right. As opposed to having it all spread out
Mhm.
sparsely throughout the month.
Right,
Yeah.
and then canceling, and that you have those months too where you think it's busy, but then everybody starts canceling and falling off your book, and just plan for that. And when you give people limited time for them to come in, it's surprising how many people actually come in when they know that you're only there for a week,
Right.
opposed to like a whole month.
They get their act together.
Mhm.
It's true. Yeah. And maybe it'll be like an even better month. What about product sales? Like, do you ever put stuff on sale for that
Yeah.
month or like do anything special with that?
So one of the things that I do is I actually do not do sales very often at all. My clientele knows that I virtually don't do sales. So this is a thing that my clientele know. But one of the things I do is in my 2 quietest months, I put my hero products on sale. So
Mm.
I sit around, and your hero products, in case you don't know what a hero product are, those are your products that everyone purchases. And the products, you're like, these are the products that every single client uses. So for
Mhm.
me, I put them on sale that month. And so what happens is people are like, "Oh my God, so it's almost April. I don't want to buy that yet because I'm gonna stock up for it. I'm gonna stock up in
Mhm.
April with that product." And
Mhm.
it just helps boost my sales that month. Now, mind you, you are stealing from other months. So this is what you have to understand. You are stealing full price sales from your future months, from other months. But if you know that you need to keep that month, you need income that month because your business is living month to month, then this is something you can do. This is why often with businesses, when I consult with them, the goal is to actually be like a teacher, where instead of saying, okay, you need to have a certain amount of money every month, you can be like, okay,
Mhm.
well, I know that through the year, I make this much money, and therefore I can just borrow from other months my income. Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Mhm.
Right? You don't have to like
Yeah, it's
worry for
variable
a month to
income.
month paycheck. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think too, that's where that budgeting piece comes in as well, of like
Yes.
knowing your numbers, knowing what you actually need to operate your business and knowing what you can get by on and not falling into the trap. And I'm saying this to myself, where you're like, we had a great month. Let's buy all the things. And then 2 months
Right.
later, you have a slow month. And then you're like, fuck, what did we just spend all of our money on?
Right.
Don't do that
Definitely
to me.
that budget. And I'm a believer in like now holding your budget so tight that you're like, I live and die by this budget, and this budget
Yeah.
controls my soul. Right. I don't think that's a perfect way to live, but I
I
do
feel
believe that
personally
having that
victimized.
right, living that within that budget, and it's like a
Yeah.
comfortable budget, gives you that opportunity to be more comfortable when you have those months where you're like, oh God, like I am not going to be making very much money in April. You're like, that's cool. I made so much in December that I just floated a bunch of that over. I paid myself for my April already. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like a framework rather than this like
Hmm.
strict budget that you have to follow. Like, and it's all
Exactly.
just like
Exactly. It's
adaptability.
guidelines.
Yeah, adaptability, flexibility,
Hmm.
going with the ebbs and flows. Like, if there's anything about being a business owner, it's about just like, uh-huh, okay, that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, it's adapting. It is 100% adapting. So that is something that I will do. Now, Alex, for you, because you've really like come a long way with like how you've budgeted and worked your numbers. For you, when you have those down months, how do you currently handle that?
Well, I think getting like a little bit more in touch with my numbers is where I'm currently at right now,
Hmm.
because I did have exactly this. I had a great month. I hit all my targets above and beyond. And then I spent a bunch of money and I was like, oh, what happened? And realized that I needed a more flexible system. So for me, it's like multi-pronged, right? It's we're paying
Hmm.
attention to what's going on. We also have like a leaner operating kind of thing.
Hmm.
And then also like January was fantastic. February was slow. And then I'm like, cool, what did I do differently in February that I didn't do in January? And for me, it was my marketing. I pulled
Yeah.
back on marketing. I slowed down on marketing, which for me right now is posting on TikTok. And therefore I didn't make as much money. So now in April, I'm like, great, I know that. Let me go whole hog, make sure that I'm posting specific types of content that I know will convert to sales for me. And then we'll see how that goes. And so far, it's been going pretty good.
And this is something important to listen to Alex when she says this, because paying attention to where you're putting your money and how that money is coming back is also important. So when people are like,
Mhm.
I'm not doing well, I don't understand, like why do I have no clients? So you can understand your seasons and say, okay, well, I know that I'm tend to be slow in April, but you still need to pay attention to your numbers, because if you're extra slow in April, slower than you've ever been, or extra slow in, let's say your is in February, if you're slower than you've ever been in February, you need to once again look at the forecasting. Is there something
Mhm.
going on in the world that might be doing
Mhm.
this to you? Are gas prices crazy,
I
crazy
don't know.
expensive? Is there a war going on?
I don't
Is it
know.
presidential election?
Yeah.
Stuff could be going on that could be, but don't just blame those things. Also look at what else is happening. Did you change something? Did you not change something? Should you be like altering something? But at the same time, don't just like freak out and just start changing everything all at once.
Mm,
You know,
mm, mm, mm.
because this is what happens. People are like, well, and then I did this and this and this and this, and I changed all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, once again. So our last episode, we literally talked
Mm.
about the fact that we should pay attention to the things that we say, that we tell our clients. If this was skincare, would
Take
you
our
have
own
somebody
advice.
change up every single client every single product because they broke out?
No.
No, you'd be like, what did you do differently? Let's just take a look at your skincare routine. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Same thing with what's going on in your business. If you're having some kind of problem, you're going to look at like what you're doing, and then you're going to try to like one thing and suss that out. Be like, is it maybe this one thing? maybe it's none of these things. Chillax.
Yeah. Well, and that too, like when you're able to do it a little bit more like logically and less emotionally, then you have data that actually means something. It's not just like what you feel like. And I know it can be really hard to hear that when you're like, but nothing is working right now.
Right.
So I say, simplicity, and then try one new thing or change one variable so you can see like what actually is making the difference. Because you could go in and change all the things, but then you won't know what's, like you're saying, what's working. And now you're beholden to doing all of those things, and it's gonna be way more complicated, and you are gonna get burnt out. Like we know you know too.
And maybe none of them will work because all the stuff that was tried and true that might have been working before, you just ditched. Y'all, you just ditched it whole hog.
Don't do that.
So,
Don't do that.
so important, so important. And it's always good once again to have a business bestie that you go to and be like, "Can you? I'm thinking about this thing. Can you? I'm going to talk it out. Can you talk back to me about what might be going on?"
Yes.
Second opinions are always useful.
Your business bestie should make you have the anxiety sweats. Yeah. You should want to
100%, 100%, 100%.
Not comfortable. Thank
All right.
you.
Well, I think that's most of the seasons. I think we've kind of talked about what the different ways that I handle it. And you've had Alex's point of view, which is also an incredibly good point of view because, she does something very different. She does online stuff, but understand that all people run through these seasons. It's not just you sitting around your spa. It's coffee shops, it's restaurants, it's every single person.
Yeah. Well, again, it's April. And I think I've had like 3 or 4 cancellations this month.
It's April.
Because people are looking at money and they're going, what am I not using? I mean, and also I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, cool. What did I buy and think about back in December that now I'm having second thoughts on? So your business isn't much different. We're all in a service-based place. And I think just setting yourself up, whether it's with your financial framework, aka budget, or your schedule, whatever, so that you can make decisions based on the numbers and not based on your feeling, is going to be way less stressful.
It's true. April is one of the hardest months of the year when it comes to just looking at your book and trying not to freak out. I do the same thing. Also, I'm going to be straight up. I'm going to tell people, I do not make any major business changes in my practice in April. It's not when I roll out new menus. I test things. So I'll test stuff, but I don't make any huge changes. I don't bring in a whole new device. I don't launch a new menu. None of that stuff, because you will set yourself up for failure, in my opinion. I don't care where you are. Even if you're in like Minnesota and like this is one of your biggest months, April just tends to be one of those weird months for people, because even if people are coming in, they're coming in for the spring and they may not be back again. And so
spring break too, you're competing with?
Yeah, it's just a really weird time. Like Easter flows into it sometimes. It is a hard month. It is a hard month, people. April's a hard month. All right. All right. Bring us home, Alex.
Well, we want to hear what you do about slow months. Maybe you got something today where you're like, maybe you also are going to go on a road trip in August. I don't know. We want to hear from you. So send us a DM. You can tag us on Instagram. The show is @SkinFessional. You can find Sybil @SkinFitnessExpert. You can find me @Hala for Mala. You can also leave us a voicemail on our box. And what's that number?
That phone number is 818-473-5277.
Awesome. You can also leave us an email the old-fashioned way. That email is skinfessionalpod@gmail.com. That's skinfessional, just like the show, POD @gmail.com.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to hear from all of you. I hope everything goes swell. And until next week,
keep your secrets to yourself.
Unless you're telling us.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Slow months. They give me a bad feeling. Do.